Okay. Good morning, students. Welcome once again. Okay. Now, today I am going to start the next chapter for you for your unit test. That is chapter number 6 and page number 28. If you get the book, you will find out that this chapter is in page number 28. The name of the chapter is Great, Wide, Beautiful, Wonderful World. There are lots of adjectives to the word, and whatever adjective we can put again for the world, it's not enough, isn't it? Great, wide, beautiful, wonderful word, written by William Brighty Rands. William Brighty Rands. Okay. Now let's read the introduction first. In this poem, the poet shows how little and insignificant man is as compared with mighty nature. Yes, it is true. Nature is mighty. Nature is big. Nature is great. And nature is beauty. Okay? But man has the capacity to think and feel, which makes him superior to nature with all its might. But in one aspect, we are different from nature, or in other words, we can say that we are superior than nature. That is, we have senses. We can think, we can love, we can feel, etc. But the art cannot. But as we think aesthetically, we can say that art is like our mother, and it provides everything for us. Understood? Now let's read the poem. It's a very beautiful poem. Read it very carefully with me. Okay. Great, wide, beautiful, wonderful world, with the wonderful water round you curl. It is wonderful. The world is wonderful, beautiful, and wide and great. And if we look around us, we can see that there are water everywhere. We can see around land. It surrounds us. And the wonderful grass upon your breast. And like a mother, it provides many trees, forests, and grasses for us, which are the source of food, which are the source of oxygen, moreover. Now, world, you are beautifully dressed. Beautifully dressed, that means there are many kinds of varieties in nature. We can see a mountain, river, plain lands, plateau, desert, snowy lands, everything, cold deserts on earth. And there are many places which seems to us like heaven, isn't it? So world is beautiful. In a word, in a sentence, we can say that world is beautiful, and like mother, it is taking care of us. The wonderful air is over me. We are surrounded with atmosphere. Atmosphere is over on the world, and like a blanket, it takes care of us. And the wonderful wind is shaking the tree. If the tree and its leaves are shakes in air, we can feel the air around us. It works on the water and wheels the mills, and talks to itself on the tops of the hills. So wind can go everywhere, and it create waves on water. It can whirl the mills, and it take itself on the tops of the hills and flow the clouds everywhere. It helps the cloud to flow. You friendly art is very friendly to all of us because it provides everything for us. But now we, the human being, we are realizing that we are not using art in a proper way. We are misusing everything on earth. We have deforested the earth, we have polluted the earth, and we have taken many more advantage from earth, by which earth is very much it became harmful to earth. The things which we have done to earth, it became harmful to mother earth. And perhaps mother earth is taking revenge on us. but like a mother, we hope that she will understand our crisis. Now, how far do you go? With the wheat fields that nod, it shakes its head with the movement of the air, and the rivers that flow. With the cities and gardens and cliffs and isles and people up in you for thousands of miles. So, there are many kind of things on the earth, cities and gardens, you know these words, and cliffs, mountain cliffs, it's a very high points of the mountains, and islands. Isles means islands on the river or on the sea, and people up and you for thousands of miles. So there are lots of people on the earth, and it takes shelter on earth. Ah, you are so great, and I am so small. So, art is a very, very great thing, and we are very small in comparison with Earth. I tremble to think of you, world at all. If we think of the world, that how great and how big it is, we tremble with surprise, isn't it? And yet, when I said my prayers today, a whisper inside me seemed to say, we pray every day, every morning, or after we take birth, then we pray to the God, and it seems to us that it whisper inside me seem to say as if you are more than the earth, though you are such a dot. We are mere a dot on the surface of the earth. You can love and think, but there is a difference. There is a difference between earth and ourselves. That is, we are mere dot, but we can think, we can love, and we can scatter love more over that on earth, and the earth cannot. Because earth cannot feel, earth cannot talk, or earth cannot scatter love. But we can say that earth is scattering love in other way. It is giving everything to us. And isn't it the symbol of love? We think it is the symbol of love, isn't it? Now here our poem ends, but I have done something for you. I have written some main points of the poem for you, which will help you to write the answers for the poem. I will give, look, here are some questions in the exercise. How is the world beautifully dressed? You can take a screenshot from here. How is the world beautifully dressed? Number 2, why does the wind seem wonderful? Why is the earth called friendly? How do the wheat fields nod? How are the rhythmic words arranged in this poem? Okay, so here are some questions, but I will give you some reference to the context of from this poem. I will give some reference to the context from this poem in my next class. Today I am going to give some main points, or something I have written for you, which will help you to write the answer of the questions which will I give to you, and the answers of these questions also. So please take a look of these points and listen to what I am saying to you. Okay, listen very carefully and write down the points in your copy, and write down the points in your copy. So I have written the title of the poem here and the points here. Points, main points to remember. So first one, nature is the mother of mankind. It is the most important thing, or the theme of the poem. Nature is the mother of mankind. You write down in your copy. Remember, you write down all these points in your copy. These points will help you to write the answers. Listen carefully and write down. Number 2, nature always takes care of us. Nature always takes care of us. Next, come to the next point. Nature provides food, ingredients of shelter, clothes, its materials, obviously, the materials of the clothes, moreover, oxygen, which is the source of life on earth. Come to the next point. If we look around us, we could notice that the beautiful nature surrounds us with immense beauty and variety. I am repeating, if we look around us, we could notice that The beautiful nature surrounds us with immense beauty and variety. Now come to the next point. The world gives the world the world gives us a friendly atmosphere. The world gives us a friendly atmosphere in which we can breathe, live, put comma, we can breathe, comma, live, comma, earn our livelihood, earn our livelihood, earn, E-A-R-N, earn our livelihood, and find or build, and find or build a cozy shelter for ourselves. Find or build a cozy shelter for ourselves. Come to the next one. Describe the nature around you according to the poem. You have to describe the nature according to the poem. There are many descriptions of the nature or the earth given in the poem, like water surrounds us from everywhere, every corner of the land, and wind is we can see wind and its activity on the earth, like it's with the movement of the wind, the fields, the wheat fields are nodding their head, the wheat plants are nodding their heads, and the tree leaves are shaking, and like this you can write what you see around you, also the activity of the wind. Now, describe the nature around you according to the point. Now come to the next point. Mankind seems to be very small in front of nature, isn't it? If we compare ourselves with nature, we find in our bewilderment, I'm repeating, mankind seems to be very small in front of nature. Full stop. If we compare ourselves with nature, we find in our bewilderment, or in our surprise also, in our bewilderment, that we are mere a dot, on the earth. Come to the next one. There is a difference between man and earth that we can think and love. There is a difference between man and earth that we can think and love, but earth cannot. Think and love, but earth cannot. Stop. But as the superior creature of the earth, it is our duty to scatter love on earth instead of violence. Look here again. As the superior creature of the earth, comma, it is our duty to scatter love on earth instead of violence, comma, war, comma, deforestation, and any kind of misdeed that harms our Mother Earth. Okay, so I have given some points to you. I hope that these points will help you to write down the answers yourself. In my next class, I will give some reference to the context. Okay, you can take screenshots from the video. I am just pausing my camera over the points. You can take screenshots of the points now, and you can write down the points in your copy also. Okay, so take the screenshot here from here. I hope you have taken the screenshots. Okay, now I'm doing one thing. You just go through the questions. One by one. Write down the questions. That will help you to write down the answer yourself. And in my next class, I will give the reference to the context questions. Okay. So number one question, how is the world beautifully dressed? That means you have to describe the beauty of the world, the variety of the world. The variety means the desert, the snowy lands, the mountains, the rivers, the valleys, the forest, everything. The world has everything in it, which makes it very beautiful. And number 2 question, why does the wind seem wonderful? Because wind comforts us. When wind blows, it comforts us, and we can see the activities of winds around us. It's one thing. And you can see here in the second para of the poem, the wonderful air is over me and the wonderful wind is shaking the tree. It walks on the water and whirls the meads and talks to itself on the tops of the hills. Okay, so here we can find the activities of the wind. Now come to the third question. Why is the earth called friendly? Why it is called friendly? We all know that. Why it is called friendly? Because earth provides everything to all of us. It provides oxygen. That is the most important thing to live on earth. That is the source of life on earth. And food, shelter, everything to all the creature, to the earth. So that is the thing. And then come to next one. How do the wheat fields nod? How do the wheat fields nod? The plants of the wheat fields nod with the movements of the air. When the air blows or the wind blows over the fields of the wheat fields, it makes the plants nod their heads, and it looks very beautiful. When the wind blows over it, it looks very beautiful, isn't it? Now come to number 5. How are the rhyming words arranged in this poem? So, do you know rhyming words about, do you know something about the rhyming words? Come to the poem. Great, wide, beautiful, wonderful world, with the wonderful water round you curled. Look, world and curled. These two words are rhyming words. There are similarities of pronunciation. Okay, world and curled. Now, in the third line, and the wonderful grass upon your breast. Look here, breast. World, you are beautifully dressed. So, these two words are also rhyming words, breast and dressed. Come to the next lines. The wonderful air is over me, and the wonderful wind is shaking the tree. So, me and tree, rhyming words. Next, it walks on the water and the whirls the meals and talks to itself on the tops of the hills. So we can see similarities of pronunciation in mills and hills. So these two words are rhyming words. Next, you friendly earth, how far do you go? With the wheat fields that nod and the rivers that flow. So go and flow. Look, the spellings are quite different, but the pronunciation are quite same. Go and flow. With the cities and gardens and cliffs and isles. It's not islands. It's not written as islands. It's written as isles. And people upon you for thousands of miles. So isles and miles. These two words are also rhyming words. Ah, you are so great and I am so small. I tremble to think of you, world at all. So small and all. These two words are also rhyming words. So, and yet, when I said my prayers today, a whisper inside me seemed to say, today and say, you are more than the earth, though you are such a dot. You can love and think, and the earth cannot. So, dot and cannot. These two words are also rhyming words. So, we have, there's something that is called rhyming scheme. Okay, we have to write like this. It is denoted with small a and b. It is denoted with small a and b and c like this. And we can write like this. You can write like this besides each and every line. Small a, small a. These two words are rhyming words. That is why this will be denoted as small a. World will be denoted as small a. And curd will be denoted as also small a. Now, breast and dressed, small b, a, b, me tree, c, d, e, f, g, h, I. That means the consecutive two lines have two ending words. These two words are itself rhyming words. Okay. So I hope I have given a detailed description of this poem. Now in my next class, I will give some reference to the context from this chapter and the first chapter which we have read in our first class. Okay. Okay. Thank you.